Welcome back to the channel. Ozers, Backdoor here. I want you to ignore that last video I did with that AAR alternative because you know what? That was garbage. That was whack. You know what? I'm embarrassed to say a bolt action was going to replace my AR. You know what? That was bad advice. I know it sounds logical, being that it takes AR mags, takes the same round, and I could run a little red dot. But you know what? Backdoor doesn't do that. That's not how I roll. You know what? You take away my ARs, Justin. You leave me with nothing but weed. So God bless Canada, right, guys? I can order weed as an essential service in Canada. I don't use it. If you guys want it, hit me up. I have no need for it. It was given to me, but you know, essential service. But firearms that we legally bought, nope, gone, right? Okay, well, anyways. I got here, I said, nope, not going to do it. I went out and I found me a real alternative. So most of you probably know because I kind of hinted it at the last one. This thing came up and I said, you know what? I'm doing it. I didn't have the money. I put it on my wife's credit card. I said, to hell with it. I'll deal with it later. For the time being, I need it. So remember, guys, 100 subscribers are going to eat a bit of this super spicy chocolate bar. So guys, for those of you paying attention in Canada, you know what it is. The BCL SLR Coyote. This is a rifle that was built in conjunction with Maccabee Defense and Black Creek Labs. I believe it's, well, it's 100% made in Canada. Black Creek Labs and Maccabee Defense are Canadian.
Why the hell is there a $2,000 charge on my credit card?
I told you I was buying a rifle to show the people.
I said I want to see other people, you idiot. Get rid of it or get out of the house. You want a coffee?
Yeah, you know what? Make me an Americano.
An Americano.
And maybe a bundt cake. Some piece of bundt cake if we have. Oh. Yeah. Alright, guys. So, yeah, like I said, I used her credit card, but it's all good. You know, these things work themselves out. We'll figure it out. Backdoor doesn't worry. You know that. I've never been the type to worry about a plan B. Alright, so here it is. Comes in a nice, just picked it up today. I went all the way to Aurelia, drove home, blew off work, and here we are. So, comes in this nice case, pre-cut foam, 1P mag, pin to 5, guys. God bless Canada, right? Pin to 5. So let's take a look. Ugh. It's a little bit heavy. I'm just gonna get rid of this box somehow without hitting the lights. Don't need that. Alright, so here it is. So as you can see, this is the first 1000. We're going to have the E2341 engraved on it. That's the petition that was started in Canada to basically, you know, boycott or backlash at the order in council that was unilaterally decided by our weed promoting prime minister. So they engraved, I believe it's going to be the first 1000, I guess maybe half and half between the black color. So this is the black one, and they come in a nice flat gray. To be honest, I would have preferred the gray, but as you can see, this still looks good. Oversized mag release. Traditional bolt stop. You'll see the rifle's clear. Some similar but ambidextrous charging handle. This is a full 90-degree safety. It doesn't have F or S. It just has the no bullet or bullet. And it's supposed to be a mil-spec trigger, but guys, I'm not going to pretend to know much about this rifle. There's only two things I pretend to know. That's to pretend to know about women and Krav Maga. I tell everyone I know them, and I really don't. This rifle, I believe, just from my understanding, they say it uses a mil-spec trigger, but it's actually contained in a unit. So it looks, when you take it apart, that the trigger is in a gold casing. So it's kind of like a Timney drop-in. I don't know if the mechanism would allow you to pop it out and replace it with a Geisley. and then drop it back in, or if it has to be a self-contained unit. I do know that they say they accept Timney, no problem. So other than that, you got a free float handguard, fully free floated handguard. This handguard goes up to here. You can see the brake. 3 screws, 1, 2, 3. It slides right off, completely free floated, 18.6 heavy barrel with a beautiful muzzle brake. I really like this muzzle brake. I'm not sure what they call it, but those 3 ports, they're just enormous and looks really nice. On top of that, takes mil spec buffer tube and stock. So this is just a cheapy mag pull. I would imagine it's probably just the MOE. It doesn't actually sit. It's a little loose. I'm a little disappointed in that. Like, look how loose that is. I mean, I would change it for an ACS stock anyways, but a little disappointing. Everything else is just beautiful. So the one thing you'll notice right away is that there's no takedown pins. So the reason there's no takedown pins are because this is built on a proprietary receiver that was designed by Maccabee, and its purpose was to, in Canada at least, be designed from the ground up as a non-restricted rifle. So what that means is in Canada we have anything AR related, you know, or with a short barrel or a pistol, we consider those restricted, which means, you know, you can't hunt with them, you can't carry them. They're only allowed to be used at designated shooting ranges, and they require more storage requirements, and the AR has always been restricted. You can't hunt with an AR, despite what Justin Trudeau says when nobody needs an AR to go hunting. Well, you can't. They can only be discharged in a sanctioned range. So Maccabee Defense went out and they designed this proprietary lower, and how it works is, so the traditional upper and lower come together, they fit together, and then they pivot. Well, again, I'm not going to pretend to know fully because I haven't taken it down, but there's a 3/16 hex screw right there. So you take that screw out and these literally slide apart. So imagine like a semi-auto pistol where the slides onto the rails. This slides on, it fits, the bolt is there. I believe the bolt and the buffer tube and spring operate the same. It's still a gas. So here's your gas block, a lower gas block. It's not piston driven. It's still direct impingement. You have your gas block there. Gas pushes it back, gets captured in the bolt. Bolt reciprocates, round ejects, grabs the next round. The only difference is it's not an AR in the upper and lower, and they come together differently, so that's why it's considered non-restricted. So very innovative design. The fit and finish is stellar on this, guys, and there's absolutely no wiggle as you would expect, because you have this big piece of steel, aluminum, sliding onto the lower. So it's creating a, you know, rather than just two pieces fitting together and wobbling, it's creating a slide where it's sliding onto rails, and those rails are captured and it's holding it together. And then you've got this retention pin right there, which seals the deal. So very, very sturdy, very well done. It has a beveled magwell. I believe that's just a standard AR pistol grip and trigger guard, so you could swap these out no problem. You've got your MOE pistol with storage here. I wonder if there's anything in there from the factory. Nope, it's empty. So, you know, everything else is supposed to be compatible. So I would imagine you could probably just put on a Geisley charging handle, no problem. So you know, very innovative, and I really, really do like this extended mag button. That's a very nice touch. Like, look how big that is. That would make reloads really nice. The engraving is just top notch. You've got an M-LOK. I believe it's a 14-inch M-LOK free-floated handguard. So you have all sorts of points to attach. You've got these cutouts here, probably to save weight. The rifle itself, you know, considering it's an 18-inch heavy barrel, is pretty light. I have to say it's lighter than my 18-inch Stag. And I mean, that Stag is pretty much the exact same. It's an 18-inch heavy barrel with just the only difference really would be the stock, the ACS stock, and the angled foregrips. So I'm not sure where the weight savings coming from. Maybe it just feels lighter in my hands today. I'm not sure, but definitely really well built. Beautiful gun. I can't wait to try it. Supposedly the ranges are opening Tuesday, and I really can't wait to get this out there. I'm gonna go as soon as we get the okay from the safety director, and put some rounds through it. Probably just run it with a red dot for now. The only difference is, from what I understand with these, is they like to run wet, extremely wet from what I've been reading. People have had them out, and you know, the guy was one guy was citing it in, and he says it prefers 77 grain bullets because I believe it's a 1 in 7 twist. So it's a pretty quick twist, right? So that's going to like a heavier bullet, heavier projectile. And he was saying that it absolutely needs to be run wet, which is not a problem for me. I've mentioned in my other videos, I usually just throw Go Juice in there. I liberally just squirt it in there, and I usually run my things wet. You know, when I first get to the range, the first magazine or two, I actually have Go Juice coming back at me from the ejection port. So that won't be a problem for me. But just dying to try this thing, guys, and give you an update. But it's really well built. I have to admit, I'm actually surprised because up in Canada, the first release of the BCLs didn't go so well. My understanding, and this is just from what I read, I've never actually tried a BCL, but when the Black Creeks Lab first did their first launch with the rifles, I think it had some mixed reviews. There was a recall, and then there was problems, so I was a little hesitant with this, but I have to say I'm extremely impressed with it. Serial number's low. It's got the Coyote name right there, the BCL SLR, just really well made. The only thing is the stock kind of wiggles. It's the not the stock buffer tube itself, but the actual stock interface with the tube. So I'm wondering if, you know, that's just a case of this being commercial on a mil spec, or if it's just a bad, you know, listen to that. There's a lot of play there, so that's a little disconcerting. But nevertheless, I was going to change it anyways, so I'll give an update when I do. And yeah, guys, hit me up if you have any questions. But like I said, I'll do a review when I fire it. But Backdoor wasn't going to sit around and be grounded. Not with no bolt rifle, no sir. I'm going to get this out, and I'm going to really enjoy it while I can. So guys, hit me up. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe. And let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything I can help you. Pricing, I overpaid for this one. I'll just get it out of the way. I believe there's Bullseye is selling these for $15.50 on pre-order, but they won't be available until July. This came up for $16.99, so I paid the extra $150 to get it right away. So, you know, live and learn. $150 more plus taxes. But I got it today rather than July. I think it's worth it. So, guys, take care.